Hey, and welcome to another video, another urban legend themed video which is what we're going to be doing today, or tonight, I should say. I am in my car, so I thought, hey, why not do another car themed urban legend? It's perfect. Perfect setting. So the last time we did one of these things, I told the story of the Hook, the urban legend, the Hook. And this time I am going to tell the story of the man in the back seat. So this is a story that I heard a long while ago as a child, and it's kind of stayed with me and really just I don't know, kind of made me be extra cautious when I get into my car. But yes, so here goes the story without further ado. A young woman spent the evening at a college basketball game. She had a great time, saw some friends, and then when the game was over, she decided to go home. She was feeling quite tired. So she gets into her car, she starts it, and starts on the normal route she takes to go home. However, as she's driving, she notices a car following behind her, perhaps a little too closely. All of a sudden, the car behind her flashes its high beams into her car. She is quite startled, but then when the car flashes its high beams off, she decides, okay, maybe he wants to pass me, whatever. She doesn't think too much of it. So she slows down a little bit, tries to, maybe just kind of pull a little bit over to the side just so the car could pass her, but he stays right behind her. So she keeps driving and she's trying to lose him. She's trying to go a little bit faster, but the car stays right behind her on her tail. And then it flashes its high beams again, and she practically jumps out of her seat. Her heart is pounding as the car then turns its high beams off. She's starting to get really agitated. What could he possibly want? So she's driving, trying to go a little bit faster, trying to even possibly go fast enough. Maybe there's hopefully a cop on the road who would maybe pull her over, and then at least she would be safe from this seemingly lunatic behind her. But to no avail. She keeps driving. In fact, the faster she drives, it seems the more the car behind her stays on her tail, and it keeps flashing its high beams into her car. Her heart's pounding even more, and she starts to cry a little bit. What could this man possibly want? Finally, she sees her home right in the distance, and she's almost afraid to turn in. However, she does not want to keep driving with this man in back of her. So she pulls into a nearby gas station because she does not want this man to know where she lives. So she drives a little bit further and pulls into a gas station. And so then she gets out of her car. Once she stops the car, she gets out of her car. She's starting to run into the convenience store to tell the person working exactly what's going on and to call the police. It is then that she hears a voice yelling behind her, telling her, hey, and she turns and she notices that it's a man, and he's leaping out of the car that was following her. Well, her heart's pounding, and she's suddenly very defensive. She's like, what do you want? Why are you following me? Well, it turns out that in her back seat there was a man with a knife. And every time that man that was following in back of her flashed its high beams into the car, that was when the man in the back seat was starting to raise up and attempt to stab her with the knife. The man that was following her explains that right before she left the basketball game, he noticed this other man open up the door, because apparently she hadn't locked her car, open up the door and sneak into the back seat. The police were called, and the man in the back seat was detained and arrested. So thankfully, that man who was following her, he was actually looking out for her safety. And he actually was, of course, trying to protect her. Now, of course, it's understandable as to why she would be freaked out by somebody following behind her and flashing its high beams into the car. I of course, I'd be pretty freaked out myself. But, of course, this is this is one of those cautionary tales. Number one, if you're a young woman, or hey, even, a young man, to always, number one, lock your car door, make sure your car doors are always locked. And number two, always check the back seat before getting into a car. So I hope you enjoyed this urban legend, this car-themed urban legend. There's still a couple more car-themed urban legends that I am going to be doing here, as well as some others. But I figured, hey, I'm in my car. How about let's do one here. So, all right, hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you click that subscribe button, because there's a lot more of these to come. And I might be even doing a couple of Reddit stories similar to this as well. So yeah, we'll see. And there's all kinds of vlogging and other things on here. And I also have a music channel too, which I'll leave in the description if you'd like to check that out as well, if you're into dark Celtic fantasy music. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time in the next video.